Welcome everyone, Simon in from the Wales of Wall Street. A quick fire XRP video for you guys today. Of course, this is one of the assets that people laugh about and say it's kind of like a stable coin most of the time. I tend to agree in most instances, but of course, what's really interesting at the moment today is a nice little surge in the market. I'm going to transfer across my fib levels here, which I put in a few videos back. I can't remember last time I did an XRP video, to be honest, but I'm just going to shift these across so we're still in line just to see what is exactly going on here or where we might identify some interesting points. So I just misaligned that one and just moved that one off the top. There we go. So we can see critically, very interestingly, where we moved that midterm fib level across. This was taking one of the shorter periods of time in a previous low and high period, of which actually is back to November last year, I believe, was the last time we saw the current price point, and this even higher momentous occasion back in July 2023 where we saw about 93 cents. If you remember, that came off the back of the lawsuit initiation about not being a security. Now, I've mentioned previously that we still await the exact conclusion and judging of that scenario and case. So that, I believe, is in the next couple of months. But in the meantime, there's also been announcements around the automatic market makers as well, going live on the XRP ledger, I believe, in about 9 or 10 days' time. I think it's like the 21st or 22nd of March or something like this. So there's some really interesting moves going on with XRP, not just necessarily because of the market movements that we've seen recently across the board, but XRP tends to be one of the ones that does sort of pump slightly after all the other movements as well. And it's very interesting to see this go up for sure in this short space of time. Literally taking us from the opening today around 60 cents to 73. Just to put that into a bit more of a conclusive manner, we'll just put the price range on. So the opening and to that top, it's about 20% increase. So not gigantic, but certainly enough, I'm sure, for the many XRP maxis out there. And for me personally as well, holding XRP, this is a good point of opportunity to potentially sell off some of the profit from ones that I missed out, first of all, in the last cycle a few years ago, but also just to demonstrate the fact that the ones that I was buying around these sort of 30 odd cents, I could take some of those initial investments out. I've been holding XRP for some time. I think I was buying it around 12 to 13 cents back in the day. But it was for sure one of the first cryptos that I ever purchased into my portfolio. You can see on the right-hand side, actually, performance-wise, it's doing really well across the spectrum. A lot of assets are going a bit red on the weekly and drilling down lower numbers on the monthly as well. So XRP has had a good run, arguably, since the beginning of February, albeit a slow momentum here. The RSI is picking up on that 14-day and 28-day as well. There's still a lot of movement to go, in my opinion. But I think there's going to be a couple of things to look out for here. First of all, we've obviously matched up 2 or 3 fib levels here. I've got a long-term one, a mid-term, and a short-term as well, based on those previous data points. And you can see quite clearly that this is an area of interest. As if I just zoom out here, you can see it's literally bang on that number. So I haven't really moved those around at all, other than moving it to the right. It's still in alignment with these previous ones from one of the lower positions. And as I mentioned, that recent high point back in July last year, to get that conclusive top level point. And this usually gives you an idea of if we do have some breakouts, you've got these individual areas of interest. Like you can see here, it's a perfect example. 61 cents is a traction point, albeit every few days you do bounce around in between. You do get the kind of miniature levels to hit, of course, that I've just, like, for example, drawn in here. But it's these longer ones of interest to me when I'm not looking at a short-term period of trading. I'm looking at something that's a bit more of longevity and something that I'm going to be taking actions with assets that I purchased perhaps maybe a year or a few years ago or over the coming months in those lower positions and taking those positions in those higher regions. So there's a lot of technical analysis charts out there for sure and channels. I'm just doing it from my perspective. This is what I'm learning at the moment with regards to what I think. You see this bounce off here. This will either do one of two things. It will either retrace back potentially down to around this 67 cents mark. We might see a lot of traction here, or it might just do a complete blowout, to be honest, if we do retaliate towards that previous high that we saw back here. So just move this advert That was, as I said, 13th of November. So it hasn't quite reached that point yet on this chart. If it does, it will probably entail itself with this longer term level here, the red marker that you just about see there at 75. It's not quite breaking through just yet. So the anticipation is it's going to need a lot more push and a lot more intake of users coming in to buy the XRP token on the exchanges, etc., to push that beyond those next levels. Will it go as far as 80 cents? Well, that could be an absolute mental rise. It has happened before, as I said, with that big announcement back here, if you remember, in July 2023. But I can't see that happening just yet. Let's see. I mean, it's a crazy market right now, but I do anticipate some opportunities. So if you have come into the XRP party late, or you're doing a bit of FOMO, do your risk assessments for sure, but do start thinking about those downward trends. Whether you're taking profits up here and you're waiting for some retests and to insert your profits back into the XRP portfolio, there's some really key critical areas of interest here, to be honest. These aren't just random numbers. They are based on specific data points of the fib levels. Particularly interested in the short terms and the mediums that come within these big brackets as well. So for me personally, I'll be looking around 62, 63 for a limit order, as I've sold some of this as I finish this video. Will I come back to this point? Not really. I'd rather see a bit more of a demonstrative profit taking and insert of that taking as well, because that was a nice little drop of 10 cents. If it does come back to these levels, I'm not fascinated entirely to be taking advantage too much of a 5 or 6 cent move in that downward trend opportunity. So that's where I'm thinking with XRP at the moment. But as I said, there's a couple of not necessarily reasons why this is perhaps happening right now, but it has, when I was looking at data earlier, looking at kind of like the 5 or 6 year kind of chart patterns, not necessarily on here, but certainly on CoinMarketCap, I was thinking that we are due some form of a bit of a breakout really of XRP finally. But it just remains to be seen whether it will sustain itself at this top level or retract itself. We'll have to see. We're keeping a close eye on that for sure. But if I just zoom in really closely here, you can see it's not far off at all. It is trying to push it at that top level, but it has retraced itself back to around 72 cents, just under that level. So yeah, my anticipation is it might come and retest this area again, but who knows? In the next couple of hours, with other markets opening and closing around the world, we might see that stage itself upwards further. Let us know in the comments below what you think XRP is going to be doing next, and have you been taking advantage of these moves? We'll keep a close eye on it, but this is my quick update XRP video. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.